For nearly half a century, Iran invested time, resources, and national effort into shaping its air force. Over 47 years, aircraft were acquired, pilots trained, and airbases expanded across the country. The goal was never necessarily to dominate the skies globally, but to ensure that, at the very least, Iran could maintain limited control over portions of its own airspace during a crisis. Yet when the latest conflict erupted, events unfolded in a way few observers expected. Within roughly 24 hours, a series of coordinated engagements dramatically altered the balance of power in the skies above Iran. Airfields that had once housed dozens of aircraft were suddenly struck in rapid succession. Runways, hangars, and support facilities became the focus of carefully planned operations. Aircraft that had taken decades to assemble as part of the country's aerial force were damaged or destroyed while still on the ground. The speed of these developments stunned analysts watching from around the world. What had been a functioning air arm, imperfect but still operational, was suddenly struggling to function at all. And the images circulating online told a powerful story. A clip shared widely by aviation analyst Max Afterburner captured one moment among many. In the footage, an Iranian jet sits motionless on a runway under the afternoon sun. There is no dramatic buildup, no warning sirens in the distance, just a quiet airfield. Then, within seconds, the aircraft is struck. The engagement is brief. A single precision strike lands, and the aircraft disappears in a burst of smoke and debris. Moments later, the runway is silent again. Scenes like this were reportedly unfolding at multiple locations across the country. Airbases, such as Tabriz, among others, became focal points of repeated operations. Reports suggested that aircraft, including F-4 Phantoms and Su-22 ground attack jets, were targeted while stationed at their home bases. Older fighters, like the F-5 Tiger and even the iconic F-14 Tomcat, once considered among the most capable interceptors in the region, were also caught in the wave of strikes. In many cases, the aircraft never left the ground. Some pilots reportedly attempted to prepare for departures, but the strikes arrived faster than those preparations could be completed. The window between detection and impact was often measured in minutes. According to aviation reporting from Aerotime, Israeli forces confirmed that at least 2 aircraft, a Phantom and a Tiger, were destroyed at Tabriz while preparing for takeoff. The aircraft were positioned on the runway, engines reportedly running when the engagement occurred. Even more critical than the aircraft themselves were the systems that allowed them to operate. Fuel depots, maintenance hangars, radar stations, and communications hubs soon became targets as well. Satellite imagery later revealed destroyed storage bunkers at the Konarak base and significant damage to radar infrastructure near Zahedan. These attacks were not random. Military analysts believe the operations were coordinated with a clear objective: disable Iran's air power before it could effectively respond. And to a large degree, that objective appears to have been achieved. Many of the aircraft affected by the campaign were already considered outdated by modern standards. Several dated back to designs developed during the Cold War. While Iran had worked to maintain and upgrade these planes over the decades, they still faced significant technological disadvantages when compared to the latest Western fighters. But regardless of their age, they represented the backbone of Iran's air force, and they were disappearing quickly. Within the first day of operations, estimates suggested that Iran's operational fleet had been reduced significantly. A force that once numbered around 400 aircraft was reportedly cut roughly in half. Perhaps the most remarkable detail was that the majority of those losses occurred before many aircraft even had the opportunity to enter the air. This shift in the balance of air power allowed the United States and Israel to establish what military planners call local air superiority. General Dan Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, later confirmed that the combined operations were designed precisely for that outcome. According to Kane, the strikes resulted in the establishment of conditions that allowed coalition aircraft to operate more freely over Iranian territory. Such conditions are rarely achieved by airstrikes alone. Before the first aircraft crossed into contested airspace, another battle was already underway, one that involved no explosions at all. According to reports cited by Business Insider, the opening stage of the campaign focused on what military planners refer to as non-kinetic operations. Rather than relying immediately on bombs or missiles, the early phase targeted Iran's ability to see, communicate, and coordinate its defenses. Cyber operations disrupted command networks. Electronic warfare systems interfered with radar coverage. Signals intelligence units focused on command and control facilities. In simple terms, the campaign aimed to confuse the system that directed Iran's defenses before the physical strikes even began. General Kane described this stage as an effort to disrupt, degrade, and blind the network that coordinated Iran's military response. The effect was immediate. When aircraft and missiles began striking airbases hours later, many of the defensive systems designed to detect and intercept them were already compromised. Iran's air defense network, composed of radar arrays, missile batteries, and control stations, struggled to respond effectively. Some installations were damaged early in the conflict. Others reportedly lost communication with their command centers. The result was a situation rarely seen in modern warfare. Coalition aircraft were able to operate across certain corridors of Iranian airspace with minimal resistance. Evidence of that confidence soon appeared in the type of aircraft being deployed. During the earliest phases of the campaign, stealth platforms such as the B-2 Spirit bomber were used to conduct long-range strikes. These aircraft are specifically designed to evade radar detection. But as the conflict progressed, another bomber began appearing in operational reports, the B-1 Lancer. Unlike the B-2, the B-1 is not a stealth aircraft. It relies more on speed and electronic countermeasures than on invisibility. According to reporting from Asia Times, the introduction of the B-1 suggested growing confidence that Iran's long-range surface-to-air missile systems were no longer functioning at full capacity in certain areas. If you found this deep breakdown insightful and want to stay informed as global military developments continue to evolve, make sure to subscribe and follow the channel, because the next chapter of this story may arrive sooner than anyone expects.